A little over a year ago, I made a video talking about working with my Rolex AD to obtain my Rolex Explorer 2 with no purchase history. On this video, I'm going to take it a step further and talk about how I was just able to obtain a very sought after, hard to get Rolex with just a limited purchase history, as well as my AD now is calling me every once in a while, inquiring about which Rolex I'd like to obtain next. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. My name is Shane Walls and I make my living as a fine art nature photographer. And today I'm just going to be talking about my experience working with my Rolex AD to get the watches I want and not be forced to pay for watches I don't want. And just this whole rigmarole, because I know there's a lot going on with Rolex ADs and how to get a watch. People have been waiting for years and years on a waiting list. This is how I have kind of found my way through it and have been able to obtain the watches that I truly want. First off, my Rolex Explorer 2, quick story. I got this a little over a year, close to a year and a half ago, a little over a year ago anyway. No purchase history. I only had to wait about 6 months, and this is right during the craziness of trying to find a Rolex. I just hit the wrong time. Never thought I would want another Rolex, but I got the Rolex itch now and I've moved on. And I think I use my watch for work, so it's getting beat up. So I'm thinking a second one would really help kind of spread out the punishment. Now, I don't mean to tease you with this, but I'm not going to show you the watch I got. We're going to do a ton more videos on this in the near future. So if you like this content and want to learn more, hit the subscribe button and you'll see a lot more content and videos on this watch. But for now, I'm just going to put this aside. Now, I get this question at least 2 or 3 times a week just about how I work with my authorized dealer. And I've been trying to think of a way of how to explain it. And the best way I think I can come up with is you got to treat your Rolex AD as if it's another vendor or another business. It's like a business partnership is the best analogy I can kind of think of. At least it's worked for me. And let me explain how. First off, working, and I've run a small business now for over 10 years, my photography studio here in Laguna Beach. And so I do have some experience and I've taken those lessons towards working with my Rolex AD. Starting off, as a business relationship, you want to kind of shop around. I'm fortunate enough, I live in Laguna Beach, California, so I have about 6 or 7 Rolex ADs within 20-minute drive. So I was able to go in and real quick too, there's some content for my first video. There will be a little overlapping. I apologize for that, but I do think it's important information. So shopping around for your Rolex, I would really go to as many ADs as are comfortably possible and find a person that you can work with, that you get along with. That is a huge thing, because if you do want to start collecting Rolexes, this could be not so much a lifetime, but a long-term relationship. And you want to be able to do it with someone that you know and you can somewhat trust and you can get along with and talk to, not just about watches or buying watches, but pretty much anything. It's the same idea with my acrylic guy or my custom framer. There are a lot of companies around here that offer that same product, but meeting with different people and learning who I can build a relationship with really helped business. And I've been with them now for over 10 years, the same company. So I think it's kind of the same idea you got to take towards your Rolex AD. And building that relationship, just like business, it's not that difficult with your Rolex AD. Just touch base with them maybe once a month. It depends what watch you're after, how many watches you do have. Like my first video, I touched base with them every 2-3 weeks, just went in. Wasn't asking, oh, where's my watch? Just touching base with them, saying hi, talking watches, and I enjoy doing that. And it's the idea that you're just communicating with people. It takes 2-3 minutes out of your day to contact them with an email, a quick call. You're just recreating that relationship, and that's such a huge deal. Again, both with business and with your Rolex AD, and it goes so far. It helps both parties out in such immense ways. Want to breathe some new life into your home or office? Why not do it with some fine art nature photography? Through my exclusive fine art photography, I celebrate the beauty and grandeur of nature, but also the solitude and peace that I feel when I'm outdoors. Limited to only 18 prints per image, I use the best possible cameras when capturing that perfect moment in time, allowing for amazing image quality on any scale. Industry-leading printers with top quality materials to create these nature scenes as if you were there witnessing them for yourself. Check out my website for more information on these award-winning photographs. On to the next thing. One of the most important things in business, pay on time. And I would take that same idea towards your Rolex AD. Especially for your first watch, I would highly recommend when they call you and tell you your watch is ready, show up and just pay them. Have the funds saved and ready. Don't get there and ask them, well, let's do a payment service, kind of loan idea or what offer. Don't sit down. Just have the credit card, have the funds ready, and just pay them on time. If you're unable to pay right away, make sure you talk to them about that beforehand if they do offer any loans or however it works. I'm not sure, I haven't looked into that, but talk to them beforehand because you don't want to be showing up and putting more stress on your AD when they already have enough going on to set that up, and I don't think that would bide too well for you. And again, like in business, present yourself well. And it's not only, dress up nice when you walk into the boutique, carry yourself well, it's also carry yourself well and be on it with your social media, and just, because I know, how do I explain this? Just your overall, I know for a fact, Rolex looks you up and does some research on you. I know that because my AD actually commented on something that I know I've never talked to her about. So it's one of those things, again, like business, present yourself well on all fronts, in the boutique as well as social media and online. Because again, I do know they do research you. I don't want to yuck on anyone's yum. Do what you want to do. But it is, I think, again, if you're carrying yourself as, respectful is too strong of a word, because it really is, you carry yourself how you want to. But just know what's sent out there. God, I sound like a parent, don't I? Jesus. What's sent out there that other people are seeing, Rolex is looking at that. And I do think it's very important to have kind of a clean, wholesome image in a way, because they do look at that. And I believe personally, they do favor that when selecting people. Again, this is my personal belief. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I do think they do take it into consideration when sending out watches or, timelines for the waiting list on who gets what. They do look at that. I know that I really stumbled through that, but I do think it is an important thing. Presenting yourself well, both in the boutiques and online when they look at you. It's the same with business. You don't want a potential client looking you up and the first picture they see is kind of an inappropriate representation of you that maybe doesn't fully represent you, but it is the first thing the client sees, and it's his first impressions. Oh, excuse me, I need a little bit of coffee. Okay, next one, and everyone hates this one, but it's got to be said. You got to be patient. Like business, I mean, my technical camera, I have to wait, 3-4 months sometimes to get a part over from Europe. But this whole mentality now that because I want something now, I have to have it now. Like in business, as a lot of that it doesn't work that way. So same with your Rolex AD, you got to be patient, whether it's your first Rolex or your 30th. You got to be patient and respectful, because the AD, they have bosses too. So you got to be respectful of that and just give them time. High quality referrals. This is a good one. Now, talk with your AD, your person, before you offer this out, because they might not be looking for other clientele, but usually they are. And I really mean high quality. Bring them high quality people. Don't send them your second cousin 3 times removed who you think might flip the watch. Send them good quality referrals. This is a huge one. People won't flip the watch. People and respect who are very interested and willing to spend some money on some high quality watches. Just like business, high quality referrals are great and really, really helpful. Thank you. A thank you goes a long way in business, and I feel it goes a long way with your Rolex AD as well. And I'm not just talking about when you get the watch, oh, thank you, and then be gone with it. I'm talking about a true thank you. Thank you for getting it. Send an email, thank you. Maybe a call later, thank you. Me personally, I sent, it was probably about a week later, a text on my first trip. It was actually when I got my first scratch on my Rolex Explorer. I sent my AD a picture saying, thank you so much again. This is, what I'm out doing with this Rolex. I'm really using it to the, what it was made for. That's what I'm doing with this Rolex. Those thank yous, again, like business, go so far. And it shows a sign of respect. And lastly, the most important thing that actually kind of combines everything I've been talking about, treat the Rolex AD as if it was your client. And what I mean by that is, think about it, what they need from you. And if this sounds like a little too much or this is a lot of work, don't do it. But a lot of people are doing it anyway. It's one of those things where, how can you help out the Rolex AD? You're already taking pictures of the watch and posting them on social media. Add their hashtag. A lot of the boutiques are separate. Rolex isn't the boutique. The boutiques are separate from Rolex. Tag them, show their product in a good light. That helps them out. But also think, what else can you help, how you can help out that boutique? How else can you help out your client? If they ask you to do a review, do a good, nice review. Tell the truth, obviously, but do a review. But just think how you can help them. What would they appreciate? I talked a lot with my AD about travel plans. She was going to a few places I visited. I gave her some tips on where to go and what to see. And I really think that's what it boils down to. There's stuff in this video, and I really don't think, again, it's really that hard or putting in that much extra effort. Like a lot of videos I see about getting a Rolex watch and how, I gotta do all this extra stuff. I really don't believe that. I mean, I'm not sure if it's just easier for me because I'm used to doing it, owning my own small business, and I do it on a daily basis. But my Rolex dealer, my authorized dealer, I don't depend on them like I do my vendors. My vendors, number one in my book. They all work so hard. I respect them so much. They're great, great companies, great people that work in these companies. But you can think of your Rolex AD, at least I do, as something similar. You just treat it the same as a business vendor. It's really, there's not too much, and in my mind, again, I don't think it's a ton of extra work. You're just being nice, really, in a way. It boils down just to being kind and nice to someone else. And if that helps me get a watch sooner, these are all, I don't want to pay aftermarket prices for these. It's so marked up. I want to go through the AD. I'm not a watch expert. I don't know what to look for on the secondhand market. So it is important to me in that way. I'm just being kind, and it seems to be working for me. I got the Rolex, which you'll see a lot more videos on. Very, very sought after watch. People are waiting 2 or 3 years for it. I got it with less than a month, and again, I've been promised other watches very soon here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other tips or anything like that, please put them down in the comments for others to read. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming out here soon with our new setup here, and yeah, we'll be putting out a lot more videos here. Thanks again. Cheers.